Gil, you truly believe LJ is injured, or do you think he's out the game because of this? Ooh, I don't know. I don't
think.
Like, I'm gonna just be honest, man. It's 34 people, man. Like, there's not no surprises. Like, whoever's in this, and they had stuff in it, they got them. There's no, and they're gonna get them all at the same time. Well, they're gonna get all the people that they need to get all at the same time. Yes, I know I'm the one said I would tell on my case. I don't know what this got to do with my case. Like, I don't think that you just walk around telling on cases you don't know. Like in my case, my case is different. Ooh, I don't know what my case has to do with that's gambling and giving information on NBA games. How does that have to do with me?
Gilbert Arenas reacts to the NBA gambling scandal. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
I got two options here. Okay,
what we got?
Either I don't score 20 on purpose so I can sue and say you, right? Or I score 20, everybody cheers, I sue anyway and say you. Like, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this.
Yeah, Gil, and I'm gonna be real. I'm disappointed how some people even tried to make that correlation. Obviously, you made the video coming out of jail.
I know. Okay, but option 3 is my fault for even putting that kind of narrative out there in the first place for this to even be a thing.
And that's the main thing, Gil. Yeah, I get it. You joke, you troll. Jokes be funny, but you got to understand, when you put that imagery out there, when you say what you said, even if you're joking, people are going to take that seriously, and then people are going to run with it as well. Now you got Rachel Nichols. She's alluding to it, and now it looks like legally you may want to holler at her, but either way, Gil, got to take accountability. I get it. You're one of the best trolls on the internet, but putting stuff out there and people running with it, you can't blame people for being people. That's what humans do. We see something on the internet, we may think it's real, but if you put it out there, the people talk about it. Hey, it is what it is, Gil. Just try to stay off the internet when it comes to the trolling, especially with this legal situation going on, and you won't have to worry about people trolling you, saying that you snitched.
No, that is not an option. I don't want to live in a world where there's no trolling. If we can't troll, what do we have in life?
Yes, especially troll myself. Why can't I troll myself?
You can't set up your niggas at poker games.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, listen.
You can't tell it. Oh, Bron told me he's not playing.
Hey, so
can't be social.
I was listening to Brian Windhorst again today, and he officially said what I thought.
OJ did it.
He said he doesn't understand why they even using poker as anything. The NBA don't give two shits about none of that. They want to know about what happens in their game, and they don't what happened in their game, in the game itself.
Yeah, I get it. They're trying to tie in gambling as a whole, but it is a difference affecting the outcome of the game and then playing poker, something you're doing on the side. But it is illegal if you're hosting fake poker games and using devices to try to see what the other player has and manipulating those games. So it is illegal. And unfortunately, Chauncey is a coach in the NBA, and they're going to use everything like that against him. They are trying to lump things up, but you have to separate it. But it's still illegal. You are in the NBA. Even if you weren't in the NBA, a different employer. If your employer finds out you're allegedly running fake games and poker, it's still going to be an issue. But I get what Windhorst is saying. It's completely different things affecting the outcome of the game and affecting the outcome of a poker game.
And I can't confirm it. I don't know. Don't really care. They're saying all 3 people who are named have affected the game itself.
So Gil,
the poker thing is basically how it all started, but all of them, they have evidence of all of them doing things about the NBA game itself.
This is the problem with integrity, though, right? Because we saw that whole Donaghy situation back in the day.
Yeah.
And just try to act like people who have all these influence can't be persuaded to use that influence to help out other people who have bread to put that in their pocket. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah, of course, when there's money involved, you got the mafia, and you think you can get away with things, you may be enticed to do some dumb stuff, and that's what allegedly these 3 individuals did. And as far as the poker games and NBA games, and it's alleged Chauncey may have been doing things on the NBA side to affect these games. So even though they're trying to lump him in to the NBA thing, if he did both, you might as well just throw it in there as one. And in his case, they're going to see if they're going to try to throw the book at him as far as gambling in poker and illegal gambling in the NBA affecting the outcome. So Chauncey Billups, he's screwed. Either way, even if he is innocent, just the negative attention he brought to the team in the NBA, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired regardless. Same thing with Terry Rozier, been investigated. Looks like he was cleared to go. NBA couldn't really do anything more. Now the feds came knocking on his door and he's arrested. And there's some alleged video out there of him looking like he's turned the ball over and, holding his leg like he's injured. The Damon Jones situation, pretty much throwing LeBron James under the bus. Like, did he give you that information he wasn't playing? How did Damon Jones find out LeBron wasn't playing? And then he's letting his people allegedly know, like, go ahead and, bet on this outcome because LeBron is hurt before the injury report came out. So just a terrible look for the NBA. They're working with gambling companies, and now you got some people in the league or around the league allegedly doing some illegal stuff.
Because if you're a ref, and I can literally manipulate and control the game by calling fouls, not calling fouls,
Yeah.
and I can get some bread in my pocket, if it's more the bread than I'm making doing my job, I would consider it.
And just like anything, man, like there's a bunch of things that that the NBA probably has in play to try to stop some of this. Billups did in fact bet on games. However, the feds are not naming him, nor is he charged. They are looking to use that as a way to spare him, to flip on the mafia. If he refuses, this makes sense. They will officially charge him, thus ending his career. This is the way to save face. That what you just said makes perfect sense.
So then the question becomes, do you want to end your career or end your life?
No, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. They really want people to flip. There's got to be some snitches involved when you're talking about the mafia, the mob, and illegal stuff going on with gambling and NBA sports betting. Somebody told about this information to the feds and they were able to crack down, probably be behind the scenes and try to build up this case. But it's obvious they want Chauncey, they want Terry, Damon Jones, they want them to flip. Allegedly, they may know some information, and the people that aren't in the forefront as far as the reports, it's like 20 or 30 other people. They want those people to flip as well. The people that got finesse in these games, they want information, and the feds, they will get it.
I'm going to go with
no, but like that's why I said they're using one and say, we have you on this guarantee. What we need some information.
Yeah.
And we won't even charge you with what we think happened during 2023 in the last 10 games. What you got for us? That makes sense.
Yeah, but the problem becomes if what you got for them is going to prematurely end your life, just keep that to yourself.
Yeah,
and I'll just frankly,
I'm not even listen.
Because Chauncey can't go to witness protection, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be recognized wherever that goes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you want to snitch and possibly take down the mob, allegedly? And that could affect your life, family, friends. So it's going to be a tough decision if they know information and if the feds are going to try to work on a deal like you give us enough information, we'll lessen the time, or you may not get time at all, but they're going to have to divulge some information, and that's going to be scary. Being around the mob, working with them allegedly, if you flip on them, things could get real crazy for those individuals involved with this illegal gambling and poker game. So best of luck to these individuals, but if you want less jail time or no jail time at all, you got to snitch.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, hence why I'm not hiding in the cave.
We are still doing Gilbert Arenas, presented by Underdog Woo Woo 2 times a week. Greer said go to Turkey and get right. Greer, Turkey is not cracking like that.
Turkey what?
The country.
Where's Turkey at?
Europe, Asia, right on the.
No, how close is that to Israel?
Close enough.
Russia. How close are they to that?
You can fly their version of Southwest and be there in a couple hours, I imagine.
Yeah. No, you better don't. You don't want nowhere. You don't want to be nowhere over there. You better take your ass back to the motherland.
Gil been thinking about this. Like, hold on now. What are some other areas that you may be able to go to just in case things get a little crazy for you in the States? But all jokes aside, they're trying to lump Gil in this whole snitching thing. He may have been talking about his case, but overall, again, you start trolling, people aren't going to really listen to everything you said. They're just going to try to label you a snitch, lump you into what's going on now. They're saying that Gil had something to do with it. I don't believe it, but again, the trolling is funny. But if you're Gil, man, don't even joke about this no more. You got nothing to do with this case. And as far as allegedly what you're going through, got to focus on that. No more joking about snitching because people, they're going to be looking at you like, you know what? If things go left, who says something? They're going to be looking at the person that's making these videos. So again, best of luck out there. It could get tough.
Go to the middle of
Yeah, you better going on over there.
Get missing.
or you can just go to Sacramento.
Z Muffin Man said Turkey's about 3,000 miles from Russia, so that's what, about a 5-hour flight?
Oh, okay.
On their version of Southwest.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you want to know anything about what's going on, if you ever seen that documentary about the Tetris, you ever seen a documentary about the Tetris?
What's that?
The video game, the Tetris.
What is it though? What's the
They
documentary?
did a documentary about like the scandal and all the things behind the video game, the Game Boy, the Tetris, where the two people who made the game, right when like the Soviet Union fell, and basically they said, well, basically anything that happens in Russia, they own it. You don't own shit. And basically somebody out here was basically, like selling the game, marketing the game, doing it, and the guys who created it came here, licensed it, and all that stuff. And the heads of Russia was not having none of that. Put it like this.
Well, I'm sure Chauncey, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones, they watched that documentary. They're doing research. They're really thinking long and hard, like, you know what? I may have to say something. If you know anything, again, allegedly, if you got any information, but at the same time, if you say something, the mob gets involved, then you got bigger fish to fry. So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody flips in this case. Me personally, I think it may happen. It may not be those three individuals. Remember, this is a huge case. A lot of people involved, so it may not have to be them to snitch. It could be some other people involved in the background that you're not seeing on camera. There are pictures out there floating around. They had to put Damon, Terry Rozier, and Chauncey as the forefront because they're the most notable faces. You want this to get promoted. You want this to make the news. So what better way? Let's include the NBA players in the forefront. But if you do your reading and research, other people are involved in this case.
Gil, you truly believe LJ is injured, or do you think he's out the game because of this? Ooh, I don't know. I don't think. I'm gonna just be honest, man. It's 34 people, man. Like, there's not no surprises. Like, whoever's in this, and they had stuff in it, they got them. There's no, and they're gonna get them all at the same time. Well, they're gonna get all the people that they need to get all at the same time. There might be like other athletes that they're named here and there, but the names they wanted to make the splash, the NBA names.
This does raise another important conversation. There is a ton of insider information that gets shared. When you look at all the NBA insiders, all that information is getting communicated from somebody. And a lot of you are naive out there. When you look at a Woj bomb or whatever it may be, it came from somebody, right? Yeah, so if you're in that organization, I'm just saying, how many work in that organization? It's a process of elimination. Or where you're going to get it from. It's either coming from the agents, inside the organization, from the player. There's only like a couple different areas it could come from.
Yeah, information always floats, but as long as that information isn't illegal or won't affect the game, it's one thing. If you're going to announce someone's getting traded, it's another thing. Like, you know what? Hey, this player isn't playing. Put the under on the team. This team may be favorites to win without their superstar player. So I think it's two different things. Of course, you can have a Woj bomb or a Shams bomb, but as long as that information isn't illegal, isn't going to affect the game, totally different, but I get it. It's a lot of information floating around, and this had to come from somewhere. The feds had to know what was going on way before last week when it got announced. They've been working on this for many years now, and again, there are snitches involved with this case.
It's not like information me or you just gonna randomly have. If I know this person's about to sign an extension, or this person does this, or this person's knees not responding well to treatment, or whatever it is. No different than TMZ. Oh, Gil's up here at the restaurant. Come take some photos.
Okay. Okay, I got questions, but I got to figure out what the answer. Okay.
Like Greer asking who leaked the pool Draymond tape. I have a few theories.
Hold on, I got questions, yo, because now you got me thinking. All right, what's the
Yeah, I wanna know who
rule
leaked that.
on injury
They have to report it by a certain time, right? If I'm not mistaken.
by a certain time?
But a Cat, for example, Cat was supposed to be went from questionable to doubtful, back to questionable, and played in the Knicks season opener with that quad 2 or with that grade 2 quad strain, right?
Now, insider information, okay. If you get this information, like if one says questionable, right? And you get this information at 10, 11, 12 a.m. or, 11, 10, 11 a.m. before noon, and you know definite this person's out or whatever, before it's reported,
Yes.
that's insider information, right?
That would be considered inside. It's insider information. You have that inside information, right? But now if I take that information and I say, "Oh, I'm gonna go lower, or I'm gonna go," and I think the other team's gonna win now because that player's not playing.
Yeah, that's when you get the best odds. That's where you can get the most bang for your buck money-wise. If you know that LeBron isn't playing, for example, at 12 o'clock, and you put that bet in way before, let's say, 5 or 6 o'clock, 2 or 3 hours before the game, yeah, before those bets start to come in and change, before they update, you're not going to get the best bang for your buck money-wise. So having that information, being privy to it, like a Damon Jones allegedly, for example, if he know LeBron isn't playing, he let his peoples know, hey, go ahead and put the whatever bet that's going to work in your money favor. Having that information, that's inside illegal gambling right there, similar to the stock market. You know what's going to happen with this company beforehand, before the financials and everything get released. You're able to have that information and relay it to the next person. Inside gambling, inside investing, it's all illegal at the end of the day.
That's where it becomes, that's why the injury report is such, people are such a stickler for it. Because the other side of it too, let's say Wemby or whoever is not playing, whoever the team he's not playing against, I'm going to say, oh, they're going to get more buckets this game because they're actually going to drive to the cup and dunk on Luke Garnett. Or Giannis not playing, all right, Bobby Portis going to have more tonight because he's going to play more, whatever.
Okay. How does this work? Now, let's say I find out, right, that someone's not playing in the morning, right? And then I'm betting, and then I put it on my social media. It's not insider, is it? Or it is?
Well, now that inside information not inside anymore because you've shared it publicly.
But but why would I be like? Why would my tweet be reputable?
That's the whole point. You got to take everything with not a grain of salt nowadays, but it would think it would be reputable. It was like when we're on the show and you say player X, Y, or Z feels a certain way, and everybody said, "Oh, Gil, that's cap. That's not true." But you've spoken to player X, Y, or Z, and they've told you that they feel a certain way.
Oh,
so it's really about
It's
not up to you to make them believe whatever you're saying.
So this.
Yeah, there's kind of blurred lines when it comes to relaying information that isn't public and making it public. For that example, I'm not sure if that'd be something to where the feds may come down and like, you know what? Why are you talking about that? It is public now. So if people are paying attention to it, they're going to get the heads up before they got to place bets, and that could affect certain things. But if you're getting information and circulating it between illegal type lines, I think that's where you got the inside illegal gambling. I think that's where you cross that line. Like, you know what? We're going to make some money off this. And then all that stuff gets public. So either way, if you know information or you don't know information, keep it that way. It's better not to have those type of conversations, because if things go wrong, text messages, phone calls, everything's going to be checked. And if they feel like, you know what, you've been relaying some information on an illegal type of end, that's where the feds, they're going to come knocking on your door and you're going to have a case.
There's a big gray area of anything then, because now you're looking at what, medical staff, like
that's the point I'm saying. So if you have connections, you could it could be the security guard who stands outside the medical staff that just gets random shit told to him by people all day, every day.
So basically, what will happen then if someone gets a hold of what's the name, right? So like if I find out, like, okay, but his line won't be on the thing. I was like, you find out LeBron's going to play before he announces it, but his line wouldn't be on there.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's another issue. Like, what about the equipment manager? What about the guy mopping the floor and they can overhear what's going on, or they may hear a player talking in the hallway like, man, I ain't playing tonight, I'm hurt. All of a sudden, he pull his phone out and he bet whatever he need to bet to get the most bang for his buck. Or he may relay it to somebody that's a big-time gambler, relatively speaking, maybe someone that can put up thousands of dollars per night on games. Hey, you know what? Hey, I just heard LeBron or somebody said they ain't playing, but they were more kind of, being braggadocious about it. But you may want to put some money in there just because it could be true. That's inside information, but I don't think they care about the small fish. They want the whales doing that. They want the Chauncey Billups, the Terry Roziers, the Damon Jones, anybody with the name to where they can pin this on. I think that's what they're after. So even though they're still doing the right thing, but they want to make an impact if you're the feds. They don't want this random person making $15 an hour putting a bet on. They want somebody that's notable, that has some power and influence. Those are the people that they want. They'll get the small fish eventually. They want the whales for right now.
Okay, so I don't.
But
I'm trying to figure. Like I'm. Oh wait, no, wait, yeah. Okay, so now this is got it, Joe. Now I can see what the problem will be. The problem will be, let's say you find out LeBron is playing. Let's say next game, but nobody knows. And they have the Lakers losing by 3, right? And I find out, I will take, knowing LeBron's about to play, I'm going to take the +3, right?
Of course.
And I'm going to beat the lineup and do all this. And then when it's reported that LeBron is playing,
you're ahead of the game.
That line will change. Lakers will be favorite. And then I bet that line coming the other way.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Defeating the odds in your favor, putting where the money needs to go in order for you to make the most, make that profit. So yeah, if you know LeBron is actually going to play in fact, then that line's going to change. It's going to get updated in these gambling apps. So if you know ahead of time LeBron is actually going to play, you're going to be pro Lakers as far as that bet. Or you may actually bet against that line and things could change. So I'm not the best with these numbers, the plus minuses and plus everything. But I understand if you got some inside information, allegedly, you can change the outcome of these bets. So again, Chauncey, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, and the others involved, they got a huge hill to climb because they got to prove this is all cap, that it's not true. But it ain't looking good when the feds come.
That's what I'm saying. All this shit is very, very sticky, and extremely tricky situation. And anytime bread's involved in anything,
you gotta put a hard stop on that. That can get dangerous.
all this stuff is super murky. That's why I just
how do you stop stuff like that? Hold on, let me see. Ghost, here go my Ghost. Hill and Joe, you're gonna live. So hold on. So Damon Jones told a sports bettor AD was going to be out. The bettor then put thousands on the Lakers losing. AD, due to pressure, played last minute, and Damon tried canceling it, but it was too late. Bet was placed, bet lost. Bettor wanted his money back from Damon over that miscommunication.
Yep.
And that's the thing. When you tell allegedly one person, the Wells, that XYZ player isn't playing, then they end up playing. Then all of a sudden it's like, hold on, bro. I thought you knew for a fact these guys or this guy wasn't playing. So allegedly when you get involved with the mafia, the mob, and then things go left, your life can go left as well. So Damon Jones, man, allegedly he was in the mix and trying to make plays, wasn't making plays on his behalf. He was more like, you know what? Here goes an alley-oop with some information. Allegedly give me $2,500. So he made some decent money in his NBA career, but that was many years ago. $2,500 for him, that's great, but people like Terry Rozier, that's made over $100 million, allegedly $100,000, $200,000 here. It ain't worth it. Same with Chauncey Billups with any illegal thing he was on, making multiple millions as a coach and making tens of millions of dollars as a player. It ain't worth risking your life and your career over some BS gambling.
And that therein lies the dangerous game we play.
And I snitched on this. You see why I said like come on, man. Like, why are y'all putting me in something like this?
Therein lies the dangerous.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a whole different level.
And this is the crazy part. Like, just being in the circle and being connected to people, right? Obviously, people don't know how connected to this, to that, or whatever I am. but you get information told to you, and you'll know that information hours before it becomes public. So it's always funny to me, back when Woj was active on Twitter, he would drop a Woj bomb. It's like, I knew that an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now seeing that the channels they have to go through to get that information versus the channels that I have to go through to get it. And it's like, I'm not sharing that. I'm keeping it to myself.
Yeah. Yes.
It ain't got to do with me.
Yes. I know I'm the one said I would tell on my case. I don't know what this got to do with my case. Like, I don't think that you just walk around telling on cases you don't know. Like in my case, my case is different. Ooh, I don't know what my case has to do with that's gambling and giving information on NBA games. How does that have to do with me?
Because Gil, you are the creator of the #1 sports show on YouTube.
I know, but at the end of the day, like common sense is common sense.
Yeah, common sense is common sense, but people don't care about common sense when you troll. So if you're saying you'll snitch in your case, allegedly, for example, they're going to lump you into anything regarding the NBA. So again, Gil, funny dude, great content creator when it comes to sports and everything outside of sports, but you may want to pause on the trolling, at least get your case allegedly figured out, and then make a joke or two about the next case. But either way, you say one thing about one thing, you're going to be lumped into everything else. But, it's all allegations, innocent until proven guilty. But Terry, Damon, Chauncey, they got some work to do. Will they snitch? Will other people involved in that case snitch? So I'll keep y'all updated as far as the NBA gambling scandal